Here we are. We are live. Okay.
Live.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Angie Atkinson. I am here with the lovely and talented Lise Colucci. Lise, welcome back.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Always happy to have you here with me. Let me just turn off my sounds while we're at it. Yep, now I'm in my own ears. Good. Okay. So today we are going to talk about transactional love and toxic relationships, what that means, and how you can manage from there. So as we're waiting for everyone to jump in the chat, I will remind you to make sure you check on our one of our stream mod squad members, Huffle Mom, will put some information here in the chat if for those of you who want to join us in these live streams today and in the future, how you can connect with us in different ways. And Lise has a channel right here on YouTube, which will be linked when this video gets put up later. And it's Lise Colucci, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery coaching, right?
Yep.
Oh, support. Yeah. and she will be here. I forgot to mention, she's also one of my partners at Queen Being, and she's amazing. And if you don't already know her, you will love her. All right, Lise, talk to me. Let's talk about transactional love and toxic relationships.
Transactional love sounds like a song, doesn't it? Right. A really bad song. Pretty much whatever a narcissist gives you by way of love, they're expecting something in return, or they'll give you the love only when and if you've given them something, whatever it is, supply, attention, time, specific intimacy, specific words they need to hear. You are the most amazing person in the world, whatever it is, and then they will shower their love upon you as they see fit, usually in the form of breadcrumbs, but sometimes big old love bombing. And basically what you come to feel and understand and see is that there's never just a genuine give and take interaction that comes from a two-way street, right? It's always, you only get it if. And their reasons, their ifs aren't, you only get it if you are, I get it. Like I'm only going to give my time and attention and affection to someone who's reciprocating and giving back to the relationship, but that's not transactional. What they mean is like, don't you ever question me when I show up late after and come home smelling like perfume, or else I won't give you love.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So, or other things. So we'll talk about lots of other things, I guess. That's my sum up. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was in a car for 7 hours a couple days ago, so I'm still like.
I understand. Little brain fried. I get it.
Little brain fried. Yeah.
Holidays will do it to you, right? Travel also.
Travel, holidays. Yeah.
Everything off your normal schedule. Yeah. Okay. I get it. So here's something that I can tell you from my own, a story that I can share from just my own life. So with my first narcissist, the one that I was given birth to by, there was always, everything was transactional. If you do this, then we'll do that, whatever that was. For example, as an adult, when I first left my ex-husband, my second official narcissist, who was probably, let's be honest, he was probably not the second one. He was probably like the 17th one, but the one I married, he was difficult. But during that time, my toxic parent offered me a deal, and the deal was that if I would go to, it's kind of transactional love, but if I would go to church with them every week, they would pay for half of my daycare, and I desperately needed that help. So I took it. And you know what I mean? It's a similar thing, right? And then with my ex, there were other little similar deals, but not so good on my end. It was just a matter of, if you do this for me, then I'll, like you said, give you love, which love was a joke. People don't always know what love means.
Right. When all you get is love in the form of monetary or help, then that's love to you, right?
If that's all you know.
If that's all you know, right. Yeah. I've heard of several people I've talked to have had similar stories. One was You break up with that person I don't like, because of course they never like anyone you're with. And I'll buy you a car.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
or don't do it and you'll never see a dime of my money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just, hey, I'll buy you a car if you leave the jerk, even though if he was or wasn't a jerk, right?
Right.
Probably wasn't, because this is a narcissist talking, but it was
Mm-hmm.
also or else. So there's an or
Yeah,
else with it. The transactional bit has an or else.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You
If you
can
play the
say
game
another
my
one was,
way.
yeah, another one
Yeah.
was you can live in the house that we own for to a woman and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay us part of the mortgage, so you buy into the house. Basically, they co-owned a home eventually, you know,
Yeah.
but it remained transactional. You can stay there if you come to visit on this day, that day, you give us this amount of time, it was, or else you're gonna have to move.
Right.
Yeah, from your home
I've
that you pay for.
mhm.
Yeah.
I have seen the same thing. And also, wait, I just was thinking of one a minute ago. When I was, I have a client who, and this, I've actually had several clients with a similar issue, who they are told by their very wealthy parents, well, I'll buy you all these things and do all these things for you. But you have to live your life in this certain way or that
Yep.
certain way, whatever that
Hmm.
was. And then they almost also in the process of doing that, they almost raise them to control because they literally, you don't need to get a job. You don't need to do anything to educate.
We'll
You know what
take
I
care
mean?
of you. Yeah, we'll take care of you, but
Mm-hmm.
you've got to do it's a means of control with the money. And it can be
Literally.
transactional even without money. It can be,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be nice to you.
Yep. Yeah, my ex-husband didn't have two
Yeah.
nickels to rub together, so
Right. Right. I
it was
got more of
definitely,
that one. I'll be
yeah.
nice to you only if.
And
But
nice is relative, by the way.
nice is relative. Yeah. Another one, he's holding possessions of hers hostage, basically, using them as leverage to force her to have communication with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but it's not his fault. She's the one who's made it transactional, is what he says.
That's what they all say.
Oh yeah. Oh
There's
yeah.
always a way to twist it
But you
and make
can't
it.
get the possessions back unless you come and sit down with me and let me lecture you for however long.
Yeah. And the idea of that when you're to that point where you're ready to walk out or you
Oh,
have walked out,
yeah. It's too much.
soul crushing. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And plus, you never know. I mean, even if they've never physically touched you in the relationship, if you're in a situation where, where they want you to stay and you won't stay, that God knows what they'll do in that moment if you do
Mhm.
allow yourself to be alone with them. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
there's a whole other ball of wax there.
It's
Off the Road Adventure says, show the narc the door,
exactly.
right?
I've heard
And
of them also using intimacy as transaction, where if you don't do it
mhm,
daily or multiple times a day, there's
yeah,
punishment on the other end, which is either emotional withholding or,
mhm,
but if you do, then you'll get a pat on the head for being a good girl or boy for whatever.
right. On
Mhm.
the flip side of that, you see this the opposite. You see a narcissist
Oh
withholding
yeah. Hmm.
and using their intimacy to, to
To be,
backward get what they
yeah,
want.
it's to be the
Yeah.
transactional piece.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Ridiculous. As Peggy says, it's on the top of the narcissist number one hit list. Ain't it though? Mm-hmm. Ain't it? Yes. Let's see here. Real quick, I want to say hello to our mod squad in the house today. We have Jack Lumen, Huffle Mom, and Christine. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate all of you. And we have Joe in the house. Hey, Joe. He's one of our members, and Joe. I think you
Hmm.
recently helped him.
Hey,
And Belle.
Joe.
Hey, hey. Yes. So for those of you here in the chat, tell us, have you gone through a transactional thing with the narcissist? And I see Mystique saying, yeah, it's always transactional.
Oh yeah.
Transactional. It is. You're right. You're
Always.
right.
All affection from them is once you look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the affection, again, I just want to say,
It's not affection, right?
right?
Yeah.
It's all subjective because maybe you get a hug or not. Maybe you just don't, maybe they're just not mean to you that day or they're less mean than usual. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It can get really bad. Yeah. Pocket full of sunshine agrees with the all the time thing. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So Huffle Mom says, mother-in-law dropped 2K on us for Christmas and paid our mortgage off. Yay. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it will. It will. Yeah, Jack says mom's ramping it up right now. Topic is dead on for me today. Yeah, so let's kind of talk about this. I mean, when you have a narcissist parent or otherwise who does drop a couple $1,000 on you for Christmas or pays your mortgage off or whatever they happen to do, you know, you are always, aren't you waiting for the other shoe to drop always?
Always.
Yeah. And the ramping it up part, I mean, it just goes right along with it. Any thoughts on that, Lise? Ramping it up toward the, like you've done
my
something.
thoughts are you can never trust anything that they're doing to be anything other than this.
Yeah, I agree. It's you know what, I always call this giving with strings attached. And, you know, and you see this with what I like to call the altruistic narcissist as well. You know, maybe they're giving like money to a church or to a group or something like that, but they still want some sort of feedback or give back for it. You know what I mean?
Praise and
sure. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I'm not going to talk about any details, but I tend to do this a little something on my end for different purposes every year, especially around the holiday season, where I try to help people, but I help individuals instead of large companies or organizations or whatever. And I don't talk about it because I think that, and I know I'm talking about it right now, but I'm not telling you any details at all. Okay. But I don't talk about it because it's not about me or anyone else, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I just saw, I mean, it is about somebody else, not me.
Right. It's not about you. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's not about getting anything back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what Bernice is saying here. I'm a little confused by that comment. Maybe one of our mod squad can look at that for me and see what that is. Bernice Pierce. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Hey, Joe. Joe says prayers, positive energy during these holidays. Yes, we all need it, don't we? Belle says sending support and hugs to Jack. I'm sorry you're hurting. And he does so much to help others. That's absolutely true. And yep, we're here for him too. Okay, getting down to, I'm sorry, I'm getting through the comments. Feel free to jump in here, at least if you have thoughts you want to share as I go. Okay. I know we're kind of both like, woo, okay. Hello? Okay.
Who's there?
We're a little silly today, y'all. Sorry about that. All right. Peggy spent the holiday alone. She said it was fabulous. I actually heard that from a couple of different clients. And I think it could be so much work being alone on the holidays. I think by choice.
Yeah, mostly. It's been, and that's why I specifically didn't really want to talk about that today, because it's like, okay, we made it through the one. We're coming up on the last one. Home stretch, you guys.
We're almost there.
And then it's just like normal again. So it's like just hang in there.
And the holiday themselves, I mean, they are not as, I mean, they are important to people, and I don't mean to, undercut that, but there's certainly, you can have your own traditions.
Yes. Yes. And that takes a couple years sometimes to get a roll with it. Yeah.
Yep. And then sometimes you have to have a backup plan. One of my clients just recently was telling me yesterday, I think it was, that she had a backup plan. Well, she didn't have a backup plan. She decided she was going to go do a certain activity, and then weather and other things kind of stopped her from doing what she planned to do. And so then she ended up just home by herself, and it wasn't great. So I think if you are going to have a plan to go somewhere away from home, have a backup plan just in case.
Yeah.
Put that in your pocket for later. Hey, Redheaded Riding Hood, happy to see you. And let's see here. Okay, John says hello. It's Hess, still no personal identification yet. Well, hi there. I'm happy to see you here. Let's see. KBB says, yes, covert narcissist ex-husband withheld it continually. A very common thing. My ex-husband did the same thing, and it was it was terrible.
My most popular video with the most views is about withholding.
Yeah, because
that says anything. Yeah,
it's real, and it's painful. It feels like such a huge rejection.
It is. Yeah, it's more than a rejection. It's you're wasting your life, and yet you can't. Yeah, and it makes you feel like it's your fault. It's all kinds of things. But
I mean, it messes with your self-esteem. It messes with, like you said, your whole life plan, like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Yep. And then there are well, we'll talk about that another time. We should do a whole session and just be prepared to be demonetized.
Exactly. Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Put this on the notes for later.
Yes. Intimacy. Okay. We'll do it. Okay. Let's see here. Belle says to Jack, it sounds challenging. Glad you and Healthy Mom have each other. Yes, indeed. Kevin says to us, were you guys able to get a point of gratitude for the lessons and growth that came from your past narcissistic relationships? Yes. Absolutely. I mean,
say it again. The first part, were you able to get
a point of gratitude for the lessons and growth that came from gratitude? Yeah. I mean, look, none of us want to have a toxic relationship, and a lot of people will tell you, no, there's nothing to be grateful for. Personally, I have found things to be grateful for, like lessons. And some of them are terrible things that I found to be grateful for. But not terrible, but they felt terrible in the moment. I remember one time during a live stream, I was saying to someone that, I felt grateful for the worst moment in my life, which was when my mother called CPS on my family and told a lot of lies. Obviously, we were fine, but the fact that she did it was devastating. But in hindsight, I realized if she hadn't done that, I never would have been able to phone no contact because I didn't have the nerve.
Yep.
But when, you get my babies in between you and me, it's over. I don't care who you are. You'll be lucky if you're still alive when it's over. Sorry. But anyway, that's how it is. Joe, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Joe says, you both look beautiful today. I've been recommending you both, hoping some come to join us and ideally get coaching with you. Joe, we always appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Such an awesome advocate. Thank you. I always enjoy working with Joe.
I think the gratitude thing, sometimes I don't see it as points of gratitude. I see it as opportunity to open up to healing things unrelated to what I think is going on. If that makes sense. Like, hey, this crappy thing's happening with this toxic person, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm healing from that, I go, oh my gosh, it's the same pattern as way back there. And gratitude, yeah, okay. But it's more like, oh, I've opened up a door that I can now walk through. So yes, I guess gratitude, because you don't want to do that, but you do, because it makes it better in the long run.
Right. And look, I'm not saying I would never tell any abuse victim, you need to be grateful for that experience.
No. It's different. It's just being grateful for the healing that comes.
The healing and the understanding. Yeah. Yes. I can tell you, I've learned a lot of lessons. That is very big and important. And those lessons led me to, on a larger scale, on some level, to be here with you right now. Right. You too, Lise, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It leads me to keep coming back here.
Yes. Yes.
We're still doing it, and you guys all have to remember we're still doing it. It's not,
it's something.
This is lifelong work when you've had stuff from childhood. It really is. And it's okay. It's okay, because everyone's got something that's lifelong work.
Right. And everyone has a different experience, but the experiences are also similar. And so I think being able to connect like my own personal experiences with, on a higher level to all of yours, to least to everyone else, we can look at that and go, okay, there are patterns and they're not just us.
It's not just,
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Because then you have a chance to like jump out of the programming that was placed in your head.
Absolutely. The first time I think I got ever got any validation about my ex-husband was talking to his second ex-wife, who would become his ex-wife after I spoke to her, not because I spoke to her. But basically she validated my experience by telling me hers, which was identical. And she was 10 years older than me and a totally different person. And then the third wife was, I think this is how much younger than me. The third wife, who I'm actually still friends with, I just posted about her recently. She's 32. I'm 49 and he's 50 something now. Yeah. Okay. Like he's 8 years older than me. So like, no, I'm 46. I'm 49. I was like, dang. Okay,
wait a minute. Why did I do that to myself?
Like, that was different when I was 13. I wanted to talk about pretend I was 16, but this is different. No, I'm 46. But still, my point is she's only 32. So when she met and married him, she was like just barely 19, I think. Oh. And he again, 8 years older than me. And that brings us to another thing, right? That how they go for the younger and the older they get, and it is because they can't control women that have been through it. Right. But
They
the
go to
second, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But the second wife was actually 10 years older than me, which I thought was weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. She was cool too. She was all right. But yeah, anyway, my point is I was grateful for the validation from her. And then I heard it again from the third wife when I became friends with her. Ironically enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not still in touch with the second wife, only the third wife, but that makes sense, even though we didn't overlap at all as far as I'm aware. Okay. So D says, I'm desperately trying to leave the narcissist. And I don't know your circumstances at all, but I can tell you if you go to queenbeing.com/plan, PLAN, you will find a whole bunch of resources there to help you like figure stuff out, and even some downloadable workbooks and things to help you remember what you need to do to leave, and resources to help you like find ways out, all the things. So check that out. And if you have any specific questions, please let us know and we'll try to answer those for you while we're here, or in our next stream if we miss them. Okay, let's see. Had to do contact. Oh, Jack says to both of us right now, had to do contact just before the stream. Oh, I'm so sorry. That would make me very stressed out.
Yeah.
It's very stressed out. Big hugs to you. I'm so sorry. I wondered why you weren't talking in our conversation very much when we had before our stream. I was texting with Helpful Mom and Jack a little while before, and he usually is right in there, and he only said one thing. I wondered why. That must be why. Big hugs. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Mystique says to Jack, I'm so sorry. That must be a hard thing to deal with on a regular basis. I guess you have Helpful Mom. Yeah, they definitely help each other, but it can also be hard having two survivors in the same house, and that's something we should talk about.
Oh, heck yeah. That's a good one. That's a good
one.
Living it.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys will remind us, we'll talk about that next week, right?
That's a personal, like, same path I'm on. So good.
We're going to talk about it. All right. I know I've been meaning to do that for a while, but I always forget. Nobody ever reminds me of
I'll write it down. While you're doing that, while you're talking, I'll make a note. How's that?
Oh, thank you. All right. I need to set a reminder on the phone.
It's okay. No, I have it in our little notes file here.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see here, Jack. Diane Brown says, my narcissist has weaponized my dog. So and it breaks her heart. I'm guessing in this case, you mean that he's using your dogs as a way to control you somehow. Like because you must love your dogs, and your dogs are being like some narcissists do with kids and other stuff. I'll let you see the kids if you do this, or I won't hurt dogs if you do that. I don't know what the whole deal is, but I'm so sorry. And I know that's really stressful. Any thoughts on that one for Diane, please?
It's the same as, like you said, that they do with kids. It's anything that they can keep control over. When he said to me, I'm holding this stuff. I mean, this is like intimate stuff that is stuff you want back, not just belongings, like personal stuff, personal things that matter, sentimental.
Yep.
When he said the words that there's no way, this is all I have to hold as leverage in order to make her do the right thing and talk to me, because that's what we agreed on. It wasn't what anyone agreed on. It was what he agreed on. I realized that's how they think, and it doesn't matter if they're using an animal or a child or personal belongings or money or whatever. Sometimes, sadly, we have to let it go.
It's true.
It's hard.
It's true. I mean, and there's never like an easy way to do that.
There's not an easy answer. No, there's not.
Right.
No.
But I mean, look, it might be hard to might be hard to get them to go after somebody who kidnapped their own dogs back. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Just saying. Just saying. How could they prove it?
How could they?
Not that I'm telling you anything.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. But if it were dogs and not, and not children, and I were that, if it were children, it's different, right?
Yeah, it is different because it's legal. Yeah.
Legal issues, but with dogs, I mean.
Come here, boy. Yeah.
Just saying.
I have to be careful. They'll all run here and start barking.
They sure will. Lise has dogs. I have cats. They're just jerks. They would be like,
knock things over.
Yeah. No, I'm all looking around. Where are they at? Okay. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. Jack's, okay, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Sorry. Now I got all, well, anyway. All right. So let's see. Redheaded Riding Hood says, wait, where'd it go? Oh, she's sorry to Diane because her ex weaponized her children. And it's interesting that she mentions that because and somebody else said the same thing.
They do that. Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Lise, and I don't know what your thoughts are, but in the case of Jack and Helpful Mom, Jack's mom is actively meddling in their lives. Do you have any thoughts about how he could help to sort of
when you're involved, low contact, whatever the contact is, I don't know the degree of contact he has, but it's learning to disengage. It's learning to gray rock a little differently, where you disengage from your own need to have a reaction to them.
Yeah,
it can be challenging because it not only triggers you, but everyone has different ways of processing stresses.
Yep.
So disengaging from the reaction to what she's doing takes away the power of what she's doing. And then she's just doing the thing.
Yep.
Metal, who cares? I'm not listening, and then move on like it didn't happen. It's avoidance, sure, but how else can you can't, there's no talking to her. There's no setting boundaries with her, because the more you set a boundary, the more she's going to push. You can try, but this is kind of a boundary. It's a boundary through avoidance of engagement.
Right. And in their case, because of their situation, they need to remain in contact. And so it's difficult, but I see that Helpful Mom's done some I want to say like preparatory, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but basically she used some of the money, I guess, that the parents gave to buy them nice gifts for the holidays. So that's something. And I think that helps. And here's the other thing I would say to the two of you: put your backs against, proverbially speaking. You know how when you're in TV movies and things like that, where two people are the only ones they can trust, they put their backs up against each other and they got their guns going. I'm saying, do that. Right.
Yeah,
that's against the world.
You just protect each other's safety in the situation. Yeah. And if somebody's engaging, maybe have code words between each other to remind the other person to stop engaging.
Yeah. And when you have your back against their back, nobody can get between.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I like the us against the world thing. Yeah. Now, this is an interesting comment that Jack made here really quick. Oh, wait, first let me talk about this one. Pocket Full of Sunshine says to Redheaded Riding Hood, her kids were also weaponized against her, but they're old enough to see it now. So that helps some, sort of. Because when they're old enough to see it, then they know it's happening. And that's almost worse for them, but also better for the family in a way. The family being the parent who's not crazy. I should stop. Okay. I see what you said. But my point is, the kids being aware of it, in my opinion, is a plus and a minus for that reason. Because it could be that now they're more traumatized because of it, or it could just be that they understand and they're fine, and it doesn't negatively affect the other parent. That's my point. All right. Now this is the comment I was going to read from Jack. He said, I prefer hero narcissist or communal narcissist to altruistic narcissist. And I see that. And I agree with that. Altruistic narcissist is kind of more about a specific type of altruism. The ones that are looking at bigger gifts, they are all about, they might be that mom who's always there for every event at school and always giving all the money and always doing all the things, but so controlling of her own children that this is why she does all this. Or so, okay, I'm sorry, I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but Beverly Goldberg on the Goldbergs, the way she runs down to the school all the time, and she's, tries to control everything. I don't know if anybody watches that, but she seems so cute in that show, but really she's pretty toxic. I mean, the character, I'm not saying the real mom is, but anyway, all right, moving on.
Yeah, it's toxic giving.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Toxic giving. Yeah, giving not for the real, right.
Right.
All right, now Chris says, this is my mother-in-law. She gives us money, but tells everyone in the family that she did so in order to receive praise for her altruism. And that's it.
Right. It not only gives her praise, but it makes you look like the taker. It makes you it puts you way beneath her.
Right.
In
In her
front of
mind.
people. It's
Yeah.
really, really awful.
Yeah. Even though I happen to know her particular situation, they are not, it's not like she and he need that extra.
No, but
They
it's
do
the
fine.
visual of what it makes others.
Exactly.
They're altruistic, not to be. It's fine to be like, hey, I help people
Yeah,
and get
absolutely.
praise for that. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, when we give all day long, it's nice to
Right.
hear it. I'm telling you, like it's. Of course, most
Yes.
of us can't take it when people say anything, but it's
Like
nice.
it's nothing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
nice to have, it's nice
Yes.
to be able to say what you do. I mean, when I was with strangers and new family members, so to speak, and all week, and of course, everyone's like, what do you do?
Mm.
So I tell them I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery life coach. I'm not just going to say life coach because then they start telling me stories about their financial problems and their this. I don't, if I tell them what I do, they quit talking.
Right. Right.
Every single person says, oh my gosh, you're like a saint. No, I'm not. I'm just a person who's lived there. But they're like, everyone had all this praise. It's
Mhm.
nice. It's nice to receive the praise. However, to do it for the praise in order to make
Right.
other people like to do, I'm a nurse. I'm a recovery coach. What are you?
Uh-huh.
And what do you do? Like that's the attitude they have. I saved lives. Like my ex used to, I pulled over and I saved the man's life on the side of the road who got hit by a car off his bike, and I saved his life, and he wanted the praise from everyone else. He could care less
Yeah.
about the guy he saved.
I can relate to that deeply. I usually don't tell people what I do. And if they ask me, I'm like, oh, I have a little publishing company or
Oh, I can't say it because otherwise people keep asking questions.
Do you know why I don't tell people? Because then, I mean, some people I do tell, depends on the people, but if it's people who you just don't know, so maybe I should tell you that people will just want, yeah, let's move on.
They have stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And they look things up and then they, no thanks. You wouldn't think I'm half introvert. So
I don't know. I get it.
sometimes with the new people, I'm all happy to tell them the things. And sometimes I'm like, I just want to publish it.
I started saying just coaching, and I had so many people starting to tell me all about like where they need help in their life. I was like, no, I can't. No, actually, don't do that. I don't know how to help you get a career. I mean, I could probably like talk you through it, but
sure.
No,
that's not my area of expertise.
Not what I'm
Thank
thinking.
You.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Oh, this is a good one from UNA. She says, thank you, but never accept the strings. Oh, say thank you, but never accept the strings. It drives them crazy that the debt part of the gift wasn't accepted. I like that. Mm-hmm. Don't take that guilt and indebtedness.
Right. That's the disengagement right there.
Okay. That's true. But I'm just going to put this out here because maybe your narcissists were a little different than my narcissist. Oh, that was Peggy who said that. Okay. But my narcissist I'm talking about the one that raised me, used to make me sign contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Physical contracts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Often. I have some somewhere around.
And also if it's a person that is on the periphery of your life, someone you're low contact with, and then you can do that. If they're in your life, they're going to get you later.
Yeah, that's right.
And they'll hold the grudge for years.
Right. Like that would be, I mean, in my case, it was literally literal physical written contracts. That was how all the time. Yep. Funny. Mm-hmm. Okay. Elizabeth says, and what if I don't accept the narcissist gifts? I know one thing she does. She tries to give it to me violently, like put it on my stairs if I don't accept. Oh, so basically force you to take the gifts. You could play the game where you set it back and she brings it if you want, or you could throw it away and send her a picture of it in the trash. That would be pretty harsh. Or you could just take it and not, like Peggy says, don't take that guilt and indebtedness internally. If she's going to force it on you, you can't, what are you going to do?
Right.
Thoughts, please?
Yeah. And I think that it depends on how you feel. Like some people get a lot of guilt around not anything related to not giving back to the narcissist person in any way. So if you're a person that has a lot of guilt, it's maybe better just not to take it,
Fair.
If you're a person that, I don't know, I think it really, you try different things and you see which one works for that particular person, because even though they do play by a playbook. They're still individuals and how they react to things.
That's right. Valid point. Valid point. And you made a good, well, okay, I'm gonna come back to it, right? Sorry, I lost it. Okay, Mystique says to Jack, you and Huffle must stay strong and work together to come out on the other side stronger than before. Absolutely. And I think they're doing that pretty well. I know sometimes, we all, no relationship is 100% all the time, right? But I know they try very hard. And I appreciate both of them. Jack says to Chris, I've seen how that goes. Oh, no doubt. Oh, this is a great question from Steph in the City. Cute name. She says, can a relative with Asperger's also be narcissistic? Okay. So a lot of times, this is an interesting thing because I've seen a lot of crossover here. Some people will tell you that Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory is a narcissist. I would say he's got Asperger's. And it's not because, the thing is, I think the difference is empathy or lack thereof. If you have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's one big difference. Yeah.
One big difference, right? Many differences. I've never seen someone with Asperger's intentionally be cruel if they only have Asperger's.
Exactly. Right. I've seen
people
who are definitely, I would say both.
Sure. Yeah.
And then other people who are definitely not, who may present like they don't have empathy, but then when you talk about it, you realize there's a ton of empathy. It's just the expression doesn't come out the way we're used to seeing it.
Yes. I have had a person with Asperger's say to me, I do not know how to express my empathy, but I feel very deeply.
Yep.
And not just empathy, but a lot of feelings, a lot of different emotions. They don't know how to say them out loud or to show them to anyone. And so they just seem very stoic and very, but they're in there, so I try really, really hard to never assume that someone is narcissistic, but especially someone who has Asperger's. I would look twice but if they're hurting you and they're actively being cruel to you, on purpose, and you can tell it's on purpose, maybe they do also have NPD. I think Lisa's saying they could coexist.
They definitely can coexist, but
not
every
time.
All the time. Yeah.
Right.
And probably I would say maybe, I mean, who knows what the ratio is probably the same for people who do not have a spectrum.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know what I mean? It's probably the same as everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just within that population. I agree. All right. And I don't even, well, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about that today. And Jack says the same thing we just said, basically, as long as you don't conflate NPD with ASD, right? Not antisocial, but autism spectrum. Yes. Yes. At least you have your Spanily. Helpful Mom says, at least you have your Spanily. To Laura, we love you because you're breathing. Yes, we do. All right. Let's see here. Elizabeth is angry at Jack's mom. I think we all are a little bit subliminally, but at the same time, I'm really glad that you are here, and that's something. And that's, I don't know if that's legit. Okay. Red says, my kids are grown and some of them do realize it. I think some of them are flying monkeys, whether they realize it or not. Okay, let me talk about that. So I think you're right. And this is what I think. I think sometimes there are good people who are accidentally being used as flying monkeys.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right? Because they really don't know the whole story. And you're probably not telling everybody the whole story, or whoever is being flown against. Because what I'm saying is, I personally, when I was in that relationship, I didn't go around telling everybody all the things that were going on. You know what I mean? Now, when I was a kid with my parent, I did tell my friends, but my aunt wouldn't have known necessarily, or my cousin. Well, some of them would, but the point is, if one of them thought, let's say if your parent said to your aunt, this kid's really, just really not herself lately, blah, 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 then your aunt might come and try to talk to you about it and really be doing whatever bidding your parent was trying, you know what I mean? So, and the same with your kids, if somehow they get through, your ex gets, but I mean, certainly there are flying monkeys who play the game willingly too.
Oh, heck yeah. So
talk
there's
about
people who like the drama. There's people who like the gossip. There's people who like to believe the narcissist's tale they're spinning.
Yeah.
Or and kind of know that person is shifty, but they like it. Okay.
Yes.
And then there's people who are so uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
that they'll just say, they'll be yes men to the narcissist,
Mm-hmm.
yes men and women, right? To the narcissist in
Mm-hmm.
order to shut the narcissist up,
Yep.
just to keep it as short as possible. And so it looks like they're being a flying monkey, but in fact, they don't actually do anything with the information. And then there's people who get hooked completely into it. And
Yep.
so recently I had the experience of being offered a pair of monkey wings and told to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fascinating to watch the narcissistic person try to manipulate me to believe they were the victim
Oh,
so hard, so hard. So it was so believable. If I didn't know better, I would have been completely confused. Knowing that I know the whole situation, there was like no way they could pull the wool over my eyes. But if I
mm-hmm.
were a distant relative, a cousin, an aunt, a friend that didn't know the whole picture, I'd have believed. And
Yeah.
I would have questioned the other person potentially.
Mm-hmm.
If I were asked, like, if they talked to me and mentioned something, I might say, well, what about this? Oh, don't you think there's two sides to every story? I would have empathized with the
Mm-hmm.
narcissist because they were but I didn't believe them. And so I kept neutrality in
Yes.
the situation and went, oh no, I'm not flying nowhere.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I can tell you from the receiving end of it, it's really uncomfortable. It's really persuasive. It's very convincing. And
Yep.
it's not that you want to turn on your friend, you guys, it's not that the monkey wants to always that they want to turn on you. They honestly sometimes think they're helping.
They do. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's tough. So it's like then you can't trust the good people in your life. And that's
Right.
yeah. Hmm.
Right. Absolutely. That's a really valid point. Helpful Mom said, thank you for the super chat. Says people would like to know if you have a video on narcissistic in-laws. I do. It's probably really old. I'll find it after and try to remember to pin it. I also have articles on Queen Being about that topic. But if I don't have a recent video, I'll make a new one for you guys really soon, and I'll pin, if somebody will remind me, I'll pin that topic to this video whenever it goes live. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we have. Feel free to keep don't think you have to not talk because I'm
Me? Oh.
Yes. Who else?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see here. So we have redhead redhead, thank you. She's got all the emojis because she's one of our channel members and she's just used them all. They're very cute. I like them. I designed them. Yeah. All right. D says, how the heck did this happen? Well, that is a great question. I need more information.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure. Let's see. Steph's Peggy says to Steph, yes, there can be comorbidities, but some symptoms of those on the spectrum can be mistaken for narcissism.
Exactly.
Narcissism, exactly. Because sometimes they don't even think about, why you wouldn't want them to walk through. This is a bad example, but they might not understand your perspective because their perspective wouldn't be the same. And so sometimes people confuse. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm still trying to figure out how to bring them over to the Discord server for channel members. Are you talking about the emojis, Jack? Because I can try to do that if you remember. Lisa's channel is Lise Colucci, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Support or Coaching. But if you just type in Lise Colucci to the chat, you'll find it. And look at any of the videos.
Not Lisa.
Correct. Lise.
Yeah.
And if you look also on any video I've done with her that's already posted, you'll find her link in there too. Okay. And she's also at queenbeing.com/Lise. And I think that also links to her channel. And if it doesn't, tell me because I'll fix that. All right. KBB says, yes, withholding is so painful and it ended being the final straw before I left after almost 40 years. I get it. Withholding. Yeah, it's awful.
It's awful. Yeah, we need to talk about that again. I was going to do another video on it too.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah.
It's
a big one. And it's one that, and it's not just intimacy. That's
No,
the
just
thing.
thinking of that. There's financial withholding. There's
Mhm.
emotional
Hugs.
withholding. Hugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Cuddle withholding. I mean,
cuddle withholding, kind words
kindness
withholding. Oh
withholding.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm. Same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here. Diane, Bell says today, and I hope you're well and thank you, getting the support you need here. That's what we're here for. And thank you. We appreciate you, Bell. Let's see here. Yes, Jack makes a really important point. Plus, autism is neurological, unlike NPD, which while we can see some neurological differences, we also know that it's a personality disorder. You can't treat it with anything. There's no medication. It's the best you can do is talk therapy. And as we all know, that doesn't really work.
Yeah. Just
for
watch out for that one.
narcissists, right?
Oh.
They have to actually admit something's wrong, and they don't with themselves, right? Should we talk about that really quick about the therapy with the narcissist thing?
Oh my gosh, it's what they tend to do is learn the words to use against you and make to flip the script and make you sound like the toxic person.
They do. Yes. And it's not helpful.
Or they use the narcissist they use a therapist to play victim so that they have supply in the therapist. And you know what? Yeah.
You're re-victimized. It's not
good. No.
Yep. Not worth it. All right. Elizabeth says, the bad thing is that in my brain, there are always ideas that pop up. Why you or anyone else doesn't love me or think I'm shameful? I think it's some kind of psychological problem. Yeah, I think it's a psychological problem. When you say that, what I mean is it's the result of ongoing probably years. In your case, you're talking about a mother, so your whole damn life's part of my language. She's always been showing you all the reasons that you aren't lovable, which is not true, but she, for her own purposes, needs you to feel not lovable, not worthy, not important, like you don't matter. And on some level, she really sees and believes that that's true because she sees you as an extension of herself instead of a whole individual person. I completely, on a deep level, I relate to that. And that was something that it took me a long time. I'm still sometimes surprised when I find out people like me. I'm like, what? You know, I know it's so, right?
What's that?
It feels confusing to me. I'm like, why would they?
Why would they? Why? Wait, huh?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm totally good, but like at the same time, I'm like,
it's embarrassing to hear people like me.
Yeah, I get that.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah.
It's funny that we do what we do, isn't it?
Yeah, well, not that I'm not likable. It's just embarrassing to hear it.
To hear it out loud. Like, I know you agree with when I talk about how everybody's going to love you if they don't already. But it's true, everybody does. Okay, I'll stop. All right. Okay. Elizabeth says the bad thing. Oh, I already read that one. Okay. Diane says, how do I respond to someone? I think our admin team would show her that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Jack just gave your channel to perfect. Mama Bear. Yeah, Chris is talking about what I said. When, if you get between me and my kids, then it's on. We're on the same. I think a lot of us have the Mama Bear gene.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to. Our child, the inner child in us needs it too.
Gotcha.
So yeah. And so we take care of our kids that they get what we
And that actually can help us break the cycle in our own bloodline or whatever we want to call it. So
it can help us break the cycle within ourselves too. If we can protect them, we can protect.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was a big, huge thing for me. I really think that was the thing that took me from victim survivor to, thriver, because when I realized, oh my gosh, it was a whole thing. When I had that went through the process of reparenting, oh my God, it was profound. And it changed everything. I have goosebumps just talking about it, but it made me know that I was going to be okay, and that I wasn't such a bad person as I had been told all along. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Thank you, Huffle Mom and Jack, for handling those admin things. John says, sorry, I see it says Hess. I'm Jess. Oh, hey, Jess. I'm stuck with him for a while. My therapist says he's, in her professional opinion, without diagnosis from my issues and the backroom story of him, a covert. Okay. Those are almost harder to deal with, I think. I mean, not, I wouldn't say that, but they're almost harder to recognize because they're so many people think they're empaths.
Right. And it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to not let yourself get wrapped up in it because they are masterful gaslighters. That's their whole mask is a mask of gaslighting.
That's right. Yeah. Words are hard. But just there, like I said before, queenbeing.com/plan, PLAN, lots of good stuff there. And, you know, we do coaching. We have group coaching. Lise, tell them about the group coaching a little bit.
We meet right now. We're meeting Tuesdays, Thursdays at 12:30 Pacific and Fridays at noon. Come as you like. It's runs on 4 weeks, so it's $60 for 4 weeks, which makes
they can come to any or all of those sessions.
Any and all. Yeah, usually people don't talk in all of them. They just listen. So there's a lot of listening and then some coaching within it.
Awesome.
As needed. Some people need more, some people need less talking wise. In fact, a lot of people come to listen. It's like more than this because you're actually interacting on a personal level, private, without about your own stuff, what you want to talk about, and then listening to other people do the same. So that's kind of it. We meet on Zoom.
So they can show their face or not. It's up to them.
Yeah, they can show their face or not. I do have to hear you. Well, no, I don't. Yeah. You can type. I've had that happen. Where a narc's in the room and someone's with earbuds in.
Okay. Another thing you can do, you have your group message throughout the week, right?
Yes, that's on Facebook right now. So you have to be there for that part. But there's
at least Messenger. Yeah.
It's Messenger. Yeah. It's a Messenger chat for daily, you know, they help each other and then I come in when I can and
it's a great, I've heard nothing but raving about the program. Everybody who's gone through it that I've heard back from has said, we love it. We love Lise. We love all of these things. Some people even made, what do they call these? Testimonial videos.
Yeah. I think a lot of people go from completely stuck, completely trauma bonded to not only like breaking through that, which takes its time, right? For each person, it's going to be different, to then like doing the thing we talked about earlier with the gratitude, which is finding areas of your life that all of this trauma from this narcissist affected or opens up and you go, oh my gosh, and there's all these other ways to heal. So it's not just getting over the person, you're getting over the whole patterns of your life, which is,
I think it's a really helpful, I mean, and the fact that I don't even know that I realized that they could come to all the sessions. That's amazing. Because I know a lot of people could really use that.
The timing is hard. So I made it that way to make sure people, and I've not had anyone like abusing the time with dominating the time, right? So it's people are just, it's naturally just respectful of giving each other time to talk. And so, so I've been able to open it up that way because of that.
It's exciting. Yeah, I think it's a great program. So if you're interested in that, you can go to queenbeing.com/groups, or you can, where else, Lise? They can look at your
I think it's there.
And
it's on Life Makeover Academy, but I think that's harder to search that than just
queenbeing.com/groups will take you right to the page to sign up. So.
Groups or group coaching, they both do. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, the reason I brought that up is because I do think that something like that might also help you to feel stronger to breathing. It
helps. There's people in there from everything from a narcissistic parent only, you know, to people who are in narcissistically abusive relationships, to people who left years ago that are still struggling with issues, to people that are still in it trying to leave. It's literally a mix of anything related. And all the different, I like it because all the different types of narcissists in people's lives gives a big picture. And that big picture helps people when they're hearing to validate what they're living through.
Absolutely.
It's not exactly the same. They're like, wait, that person's partner does what my mother does. Ew, what the heck, you know? So
it helps though, right? It helps to see validation is huge. Yeah. Just like when I had the opportunity to talk with two of my ex-husband's ex-wives that came after me. Huge validation.
Validation, and it helps you get out too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Redheaded Riding Hood says, I'm grateful for my 5 children, even though some of them are flying monkeys. I'm still glad that they're here and I love them. I just keep watching to know how to interact with them if I can. That is the most healthy, best possible way you can look at this, my friend. And I'm just really proud of you for seeing it that way. And I hope that anyone in this situation, I have a client right now who is struggling very much with her children because they've been weaponized against her. And I want to tell her that. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Very healthy, very healthy attitude. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
What you say that it's
she said, I'm grateful for my 5 children, even though some of them are flying monkeys. I'm still glad they're here and I love them. I just keep watching to know how to interact with them if I can.
Wanting to know how, is that what it said?
She keeps watching to know how to interact with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that good?
And there's
really
like one little piece I'd add to that is watching to know how to interact with them about their life. So that you keep the flying monkey potential at bay, right? And giving information you don't care if the world knows.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes, absolutely. Belle says, thank you to Angie and Lise for all you do. Thank you. She said, you are giving and the gratitude is there. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you too, Belle. Yes. Let's see here. Chris says, Huffle Mom was reading to me Angie's story about CPS Children's Admin last night. She grabbed the Kindle link. Angie sent over the email newsletter. Oh, cool. Right on, right on. Yeah. Yeah. So you probably knew some of that already, Jack. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that later. Yeah, I sent out, I gave away a couple of my premium ebooks over the holiday. And if anybody didn't get one and they want one, just let me know. We'll see what we can do. All right. You're able to, okay, we did that one. All right. I think we are out of time. Oh my goodness. I just realized we're 6 minutes over.
Tell you that.
Oh, so sorry. We're having such a good one today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we are wrapping up, but I want you all to know that I will be thinking about you over New Year's Eve. I will try to pop, we may try to pop in and do, well, okay, hold on. We are in the process of planning a week of streams together with Lise and I.
Yes.
So hopefully soon. And we'll probably vary the times during the week so people can come, but we need to check with our admin, our mod squad, and make sure that'll work for them too. Other than that, I may try to, I just saw you in the playback video that we're like a couple seconds ahead of Lise. I just saw you do. And I was like, caught my eye out of the corner of my eye. That's cute. All right. Anyway, okay. So what we're saying is we'll see you soon. And I will, like I said, I might try to sneak in and do like a New Year's Eve or a New Year's Day quickie if I can. And Lisa, I'll invite you to join me if you're available too.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will see you soon. Lisa, any final thoughts for our amazing people here today?
We'll have a happy new year and just keep going, guys. Keep going.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to our mod squad who's here today. We had Jack Lehman, we have Huffle Mama, we have Christine Schwartz. Thank you. Our members who have been here, so Redheaded Riding Hood, Joe. I don't know if anybody else members, but if I missed any, please forgive me. Our regulars, Belle. Let's see, a whole bunch of, we haven't seen Belle in all the time, but I'm happy to see you here. I'm happy for all of you. Kevin, Diane, John, Mima Dragon. That's the best name I've ever heard in my whole entire life today. Mima Dragon. Isn't that so cute? Okay. Yeah. I love that. Richard Burton, thank you. I know you've been around a lot. KBB, I think you might be new. Liz Lemon, that's another name that I love because that one show, great name. Peggy, Diane. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Happy holidays, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Watch the chat for Papa Mom for her outro stuff to remind you where to go. All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.